What's up, everybody, and welcome back to All the Things Sort of Truth, the alcohol-fueled chapter-by-chapter reread with a basket full of craft brew on the side. I'm Nate.
I'm Jade.
And we're being quiet because it's Monday morning, and we understand that you may not have had your coffee yet, and we want to give you a nice, soft intro to the day.
That's right. It's Monday. And that means that this is the official start to our 2-episode-a-week schedule.
That's right. From now on, we are going to be uploading on Monday and Wednesday.
Double dose of truth.
Right.
So, the other thing that we have to talk about this week is that the store officially is going to be opening on the 28th, which for you guys was a few days ago. So you guys actually know more than we know at this point because of time travel.
Yeah, because you guys are in the future.
So we are going to be letting you guys know what we think of what's in the store as soon as possible. But in the meantime, let us know if you've seen it by now, which I hope that some of you have. Send us an email, put it up on the page. We're definitely going to be shooting links out.
And let us know if you find out anything about swords, or if the store is going to carry a sword, or if you know where I can find a sword, or somebody who makes one. You know, any general information about things like that would be appreciated.
All weaponry info
yeah,
goes to Nate. But that's all we have, so we can move right along into this chapter.
All right, so in this chapter, Richard, he kind of gets what he wants. He gets what he came for, we'll say. I think my favorite scene in this chapter is the opening scene.
Well, it's a good one.
Yeah, and I like that he gets his due like this, because the chapter opens with the Birdman trying to teach Richard how to use the whistle that he gave him. The whistle that he gave Kahlan to give him.
Right, that he has, multiples of.
Right. He's here. He must have his own right now. He does have his own, in fact. Okay, so Richard is trying to call a bird, and the Birdman's like, okay, robin, finch, hawk. And Richard is thinking about the birds, blowing the whistle, and instead of getting the bird he wants, he gets thousands of birds. Enough to turn the sky black, it says. And they are all swooping and, swarming them. And so the Birdman has to blow in his whistle to get rid of them.
Right. It's like that horror movie. I think it's called The Birds.
The Birds, yeah.
And the Birdman's super frustrated, just trying to get him to fucking leave.
He's frustrated, but the guys that escorted them out here to this field or wherever they are, they're fucking rolling. They're having a fantastic time watching Richard fail at this. But the one thing I did note is that their spears were butted on the ground, so they were pointed up. That's gotta be because the birds were swooping and swarming, right? Defensively, it said they were rolling around on the ground, but I feel like if enough birds to turn the sky black headed in your general direction, you would get down too. They're laughing and rolling on the ground, but they're down there because they're being swarmed by birds.
They're doubled over laughing while also
protective stance, yeah, because that'd be fucking scary.
Okay. Whipping, well, maybe not whipping the spears around, but
underneath them.
I could see it in my head now. They're laughing because the Birdman tells Richard that he's the worst bird caller he's ever seen. He's worse than a child. And that leads me to believe even more that these are really not special fucking whistles, and the Birdman really doesn't have a ton of talent for anything. But if a kid can call the birds, then him being the Birdman isn't that cool, right?
I think I see what you're saying, but I think it's the magic that does it. Almost like the whistle is a self-working magic. All you have to do is, blow through it, because I don't think it's a real whistle. But I think it has to do with, your heart, like the Birdman says. Don't think about it with your brain. You got to think about it with your heart. And so I think there's a magic in the whistle that's self-working.
Okay.
And it kind of depends on the person doing it. And I think Richard is different in a way than most people. And he just can't fucking do it. But yeah, the Birdman was like, dude, kids can do this. It's not, well, I don't know why you're struggling. He even says, go ahead and keep the whistle, but it's never going to be of any use to you, apparently.
He rubs it in real hard, though. It's like, just keep it as a reminder that there are things that you're not good at.
That you suck?
Yeah.
That you couldn't do a thing?
Yeah.
Gosh, that was a cool day.
But what's funny, too, is that Richard is taking it, like, super hard, too. He's not just like, whatever. Some people can't do some stuff. He's like, I was trying really hard.
The only thing that stuck out to me here is that the Birdman tells him, don't use your brain, use your heart. And then his defense for like why it should have worked, he goes, well, I was thinking about it as hard as I could. But he told you to not do that. That's probably, you know what? Maybe this is it. I think I just figured it out, Jade. Richard, not a puzzle guy, uses logic, not necessarily his heart, as we just saw with Kahlan in the spirit house.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why he's unable to call the birds with his heart using the whistle. Because for him, it's like mind over heart.
He's just overthinking it.
He's overcomplicating it. Like, any kid would be like, bald eagle, fuck yeah, blowing the whistle, bald eagle, nailed it. But Richard's like, he can't do it.
Am I taking the bald eagle away from his family and his duties right now? Is this a problem? Should I be doing this?
Yeah, that would totally be his style. Do I deserve or have a right to call this animal?
All right. I hear you.
I think there's something there. I don't know.
But they'll never tell.
Was that it? Did you just figure it out?
I cracked it, I think. I cracked the egg. It's all coming out now. So as I walk back to the village, Richard and Kahlan end up, like, holding hands. She feels closer to him now. This is when they have, like, a little chit-chat. Or no, they had the chit-chat in the morning, right? When she was, like, covering up her naked breasts after cuddling with him all night and being like, You're a super good friend.
She says that she hopes she could be as good a friend to Richard as he is patient with her.
Right.
And it was weird because it said she was basically, they were spooning. They spooned last night. She had her top off, apparently.
Yeah.
But even though they slept like that, she still turned around to get dressed in the morning. Because it's the morning after. It's weird.
Yeah.
Can be weird. So, yeah. And he tells her that she already has been because she's put her trust in Richard and she's pledged her life to defend his. Like, you already said you're going to die for me, so I think that makes us friends.
I mean, and you kind of underlined that fact 3 times after you were being a total cocktease last night. So.
Whole bunch.
Yeah, we're friends, okay?
Yep, hard friend zone. Got it.
Great friends.
But he did get one thing out of this, and that is that he will never look at an apple the same way again. And I don't blame him.
Right. And I don't blame him for taking these, like, little comments to her.
Little jabs.
Too. Like, yeah, because they're not, like, mean jabs. He's just like, hey, I know what happened. You know what happened. I'm not going to let you forget.
Let's not pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, from Richard's point of view, she obviously wants to do some stuff, and I want to do some stuff, so we should be able to do some stuff. But because I'm not a piece of shit who's just going to take advantage of the situation, we haven't done some stuff. But that doesn't mean I don't want to.
Right.
And Kahlan, she's frustrated too, but that came from her. Whereas Richard, at this point, he was like, yeah, I want her, but he's played by the rules. He knows it's not they're not together. They're not a thing.
Right.
So yeah, I could see Richard being pissed because he's like, you brought this up. And then I had to shut it down because it's really not the right thing to do. But that doesn't mean I didn't want to. So I'm fucking frustrated too, okay?
Yeah.
I'll be right back in like 20 minutes. Don't follow me.
You left me with a pair of night stones last night. Let's not even... let's be real, okay?
The ball's so blue, they turned black. And not just black, so black that it sucks the light out of the area around it.
Yeah.
Black.
I mean, he had 4 girls ready and willing, and he turned them down for her, and then she was like, yeah, no.
You can see him leaving the spirit house. They're like, well, somebody's going to take care of this. I'll be right back.
Just walk around with his shirt off.
Richard wouldn't do that, though.
Not that we would know about.
No, that's true. Oh, and I'd like to point out here real quick, they're holding hands, which weird.
I think maybe it's just like we're conveniently holding hands to get over the terrain type hold hands.
Oh, okay, because they're not in town right now. This is like out in nature.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. They're both like well-traveled people, so they should be fine walking over some grasslands. So it's probably like we're pretending that we're doing this to help, but not really.
It's like a perfectly flat path. Oh, watch it now. See?
Yeah. Stop short type thing.
Stop and short.
Yeah.
Richard, you fucking dog. So suddenly they stop. When Richard realizes that he's got sun on his face, or he had sunlight on his face. Now he doesn't. And he points out that that's the first time that's happened since Zed called all the clouds to them to, hide them from Dark and Rawl. And so he's like, whoa, that's weird. I know for sure that there was sunlight on my face. Now, I don't know whether that's one small, like directly on his face, or if it was like you could see it from a mile away, a actual strip of light that's just like directly over him, because I feel like that would be more telling. The way it seems is like you saw the sky for a split second and there was some sun behind it.
Right. And it confused me too, because we were under the impression, or I was under the impression, that the snake cloud itself was what was tied to him. Like, you had to be able to see the snake cloud to find Richard. But this kind of implies that the sun being able to peek through the clouds somehow means something. And I also didn't really think that the sky was completely covered like that. I thought it was like, shafts of light here and there. Not oppressive, dark all the time.
Right. My only thought was Dark and Raw shouldn't even be able to know where to start looking for Richard if he can't see the snake cloud.
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe this opening in the clouds, this shaft of light, is Dark and Raw, like, peeking through the clouds. I don't know if he has another way of, like, looking around for stuff from where he is, because obviously he can't see this cloud from Dahara.
Right.
He's using some sort of magical seeing thing. So I think this is Dark and Raw, like, peeking through the clouds, pulling them apart. Like, is he here? No? Okay. And then, popping up here and there, but he found him.
Okay.
But from Richard and Kahlan's point of view, this is just like, oh, that's weird. They noticed it, so it's not insignificant, but they don't really think shit of it, and they keep going.
Yeah, they keep moving along.
Yeah.
They make it to the platform where the 6 elders are eating the meal. On the platform, at this point, all the kids and the wives, everybody's gone to bed, because it's been like a long night. The elders have been up all night, it seems like.
Yeah, they've been going all night long. The kids are all passed out everywhere.
Yeah. And they're eating a meal prepared by, like, special women. They are drinking a special red drink that apparently is making them merge with the spirits.
Is it flavored?